Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a little bit different than normal. First of all, just excuse my outfit. I have been running around doing errands, cleaning all day, and I just got really in the cleaning mood. So I thought about cleaning my brushes, and I know that is something that you guys have talked about wanting to see, is how I clean my makeup brushes, and then also talk through what I use those brushes for and why I like them. So these are brushes that I use all the time, almost every day, so you'll really get to see which brushes I love the most, and I'll kind of explain how I use them, put links for all of the brushes in the description bar, so if you want to shop those, you can do that. But yeah, this is my little setup right here. So these are all my dirty brushes, of course, and a towel, which I'll lay them on. So yeah, let's get the video started. If you do like the video as you're watching, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. That is so helpful for me. And yeah, guys, let's just get right on into it. First, what I want to talk about is just what I'm going to be using to clean my brushes. Today, I'm going to use this from Sigma. This is their SigMagic scrub sort of thing, and basically what it is a suction cup on the back and then soap, but it has like little bristles sort of things, so that when you scrub your brush in it, it really like gets in all those grooves, and it just suctions to your sink. And so let me just explain to you why I like this versus some other methods. So in the past, I used this sort of thing with some actual brush cleaner, and this again has all the grooves in it, but you need the soap to go with it. So the nice thing about this from Sigma is it has the grooves and the soap right in it, and then the other nice thing about it is because it is this way on the sink instead of like laying in the sink itself, all of the nastiness from the brushes just kind of flows right down your drain. Whereas with this, I would notice that even though some of it would go down the drain, there'd be a lot of makeup like particles just sitting out here. My whole sink would get so dirty. So that's why I like this from Sigma. I am a Sigma affiliate, and I do have a code if you end up being interested in purchasing this. This video is not sponsored. I'm not doing this video for Sigma or anything like that. I just actually really like that brush cleaner and wanted to show you guys how I clean my brushes. So let's just get started. I'm going to start with my big brushes, and then we'll do eyeshadow brushes after. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me over the water. I won't do it too loud, so that should be okay. The first brush I'm going to clean is actually this one from Sigma. This is their flat Kabuki brush, and yeah, I basically just get it wet. You swirl it around, and you can see everything just comes off and goes right down the drain. It's so easy. I also do own one of those spinny things, like the one where you hold your brush, or like there's a compartment and there's that ball of like water and soap, and it like spins it. Yeah, I have that, and I really just don't think it cleans my brushes as good as this does. So I know this is a manual process, and there are products out there that are supposed to be easier, but I still like this method because I feel like it cleans my brushes the best. So you can see how nice and white that brush is again. So now next step is to just lay these off to the side, sideways on a towel. You don't ever want to put your brush straight up again in its container, because then all of the excess water will get into this area and hurt your brush. So you don't want to do that. That'll like kind of erode this and make it come apart. So you just want to lay it down flat like that. This one right here is the 944 Tapered Contour Brush from Bdellium, and it is a contour brush like it says. I really should be using cool water, not warm. Yeah, make sure you're using like room temperature water. Again, this says it's a contour brush, but I actually like to use this for highlight, so that's why there's not like too much coming off of that. This brush right here is such a good one. This is the Bdellium 966 Duo Fiber Face shading brush. Again, I will be linking everything down below. This I use for contour. This is so nice for contour. You can see all that nasty brown. But look at that. Look at how easy that was. It's already perfectly white again. Love having clean brushes to work with. I don't do this nearly as much as I should. Oh, this will be a fun one. This is my blush brush, and this is from Real Techniques. So we're gonna get a lot of pink. Actually, it's pretty peachy. This is such a great blush brush. It's just so soft and fluffy, and it's drugstore. It's the only blush brush that I have used in probably 2 years, I'd say. Here is another Real Techniques brush. These actually might come in a kit. This is a really nice contour sort of bronzer brush. I really like it. It's pretty dense. Like, look how easy that is. It's almost clean in just a couple swipes on here. And this I think is called the sculpting brush, yeah. Next is this from Bdellium. This is a tapered highlighting brush, and that's what I use it for highlight. This isn't gonna be super dirty. Ooh, ew, that is dirtier than I thought it was gonna be. I guess I don't think about the fact that when I'm putting this on my cheeks for highlight, it's also touching like my foundation and all my regular powders, so it is getting those products on it, not just the nice pretty shimmery highlight, like it's getting the colored products on it as well. This again, these literally, all three of these do the same thing. This is the Sigma Spotlight Duster, which is a highlighting brush that I'm going to clean next, but really these two from Bdellium, the ones I've already cleaned, are very similar to this, so you could get any three of those and they'll really do the same exact thing. I guess I just like to mix up the one I use. This is another brush from Real Techniques. This is their Expert face brush, so sometimes I use this to apply foundation, or what I've actually been liking to use this for recently is to blend out my concealer if I'm just doing a super no makeup look and not really wearing foundation, I'm just wearing concealer. I'll use this to blend out that concealer to make it a little bit more natural looking than with my sponge. Sometimes with the sponge it just looks a little more full coverage. I know most people say with the sponge it's supposed to suck up excess, but I still feel like when I use a brush it just looks a little bit more natural, so that's what I've been using this for. Next is a really good Kabuki sort of foundation brush, again along the same lines as this Sigma flat Kabuki brush. These are pretty similar. The Sigma one's a little bit bigger and a little more dense. This one's a little bit fluffier. This one would probably give you a lighter coverage, whereas the Sigma one would give you full coverage. So this one again is from Bdellium. It's the 956. This is my e.l.f. brush, which is so affordable, and this is what I use for all over face powder. So like whenever I am using my Bare Minerals foundation powder to put that over my liquid foundation, this is the brush I use. I have had this and used this for so long, and I really use it like every day. So this is probably $1 or $2. I don't think this actually has a name on it. I think it's just like their big powder brush. I will find it and link it down below. Okay, just a couple more big face brushes. This is the 959 from Bdellium. This is their powder blending brush. I recently discovered this brush. I only used it a couple times, but what it's really good for, what I really have liked using it for, is bronzer. It's just super soft, but also kind of like not too soft where it's going to put down too much product, you know what I mean? Like it has a little bit of like a duo fiber, like shorter, longer sort of feel, so it doesn't pack on the bronzer too heavy, but it's also nice and soft and fluffy. I'm definitely going to use this more. And then this last face brush, I have no idea where this is from. This is like a random mermaid brush. I will try to find which set this came from, but I really like this for a more precise highlight. Just the shape of it, it's kind of like angled so you can get right on the tip of your cheekbone, and it's nice and dense and soft. It's definitely not as good quality as my others though, so. Okay, moving on to eyeshadow brushes. Let me first stick with these from Bdellium. These are all from the Golden Triangle collection. You can buy these separately or you can buy them together. This first one is the 780 pencil brush. Love this for really defined crease work or under your eyes, like your lower lash line, because it's nice and dense and kind of thick, but it's still pretty precise. So I really like that. And then this is a really good blending brush. This is the 785 Tapered blending brush. This is so good just for setting in your transition shade and blending out crease shades. Definitely a little bit scratchy, but sometimes you need a brush that's kind of coarse to really get in there and blend. This isn't one of those like super soft blending brushes. I do have some like that we'll get to, but this one is a little bit more coarse, which I do like. Then this one is the Bold Concealer Brush. I don't normally apply my concealer, like my actual face concealer, with a brush. I use my sponge for that, or a bigger brush like the foundation brush I was talking to you about. But what I like to use this one for is to carve out underneath my eyebrows and also for cut creases. I used this one, I believe, when I did the Norvina eyeshadow palette tutorial and needed to carve out my lid for the cut crease. This is a bigger fluffy blending brush, like a really, really big one. You have to be careful with this one. I normally just use a transition shade or something really light with this one because it is so big and fluffy that if you use a dark color with it, it's going to just like poof all over your eye. But this one is really nice for those really light colors or like dusting away under eye setting powder, things like that. I have used it that way. This, I think, I don't know if I said, it's the 787 large tapered blending brush. The next one from this Bdellium set is the Angled Brow Brush. 763 is the number. I don't use this for brows because I just use a brow pencil. But what I use this for is like an eyeliner brush. So I'll use this to stamp some black shadow along my lash line or brown shadow along my lash line. It has a nice angle on it, but it's not super, super precise. So if you're looking for a more natural winged out look, this is a super nice brush for that. The next one is this one. I think it's a lip brush. Yeah, it's the 546 square lip brush. So it's like flat, perfect square. I also use this one to carve out my brows from time to time. I don't really use lip brushes, but this is kind of like a concealer brush, but just more squared off. So if you wanted something really precise, like you wanted a sharp, clean brow, this is a really nice brush for that, or of course you could use it for lip products. The next brush I have from this set is the 776 blending brush. This is a softer blending brush, like a really, really soft one. I like to use this one for darker colors and to really define the crease area since it is a little bit smaller and shorter. So it's a little more compact, like you can be a little bit more precise with this one. Then this brush is the 774 large shader brush. This is definitely, again, one of those more coarse brushes that is really good for blending everything out. This is also really good for packing on shimmer shades because it will pick up a lot of that shimmer. It's just really coarse and thick, and it'll pack a punch when you're trying to get color on the eye, but it also blends out nicely. This is a really, really good brush. I don't use this as much as I should, probably mostly because I use my fingers for shimmer shades, but if I need to pack on a shimmer shade, this is the brush that I normally go for. So I'm going to finish off the Bdellium brushes. I have a couple more. These are from, I don't know what the collection is called, but again, you can buy these separately. This from Bdellium is the 761 Tight Liner brush. This is my favorite gel eyeliner brush. So I use this with my Maybelline gel liner, like the pot gel, and this is the most tiny, like skinny brush that I own, and it's so good for getting a super, super, super precise cat eye winged liner. It's just the best. And then this is from that same collection. This is the 938 Blending Concealer Brush. So this is supposed to blend out your concealer, but I normally use this in the crease. This is a super, super soft brush. So if you really like soft brushes, using soft brushes on your eyes, you would like this. Okay, next I'm going to do my Real Techniques brushes. I have 3 of the kind of like fatter ones and then 3 of the skinnier, more tapered ones. These come in sets of 2, so you get like one big one with one of the skinny tapered ones. So I have 3 sets here basically. I love these brushes. These are my favorite drugstore eyeshadow brushes, are these Real Techniques ones. I will link the duos down below. I'm just gonna do these 4 all together. That's another nice thing about this Sigma thing, is because it's suctioned in here, I don't have to use my other hand. So I can just kind of chill out here and use all 4. Whereas with the matte, I would have to like hold it down, and it was hard to do a bunch at once because the actual base of it wasn't really stable. Okay, let's do the Sigma one. This is the Blending E36 brush, and this is so nice if you're doing a cut crease because it's so kind of like long and fluffy, but so skinny. So it's super precise, but it also puts down the eyeshadow really, really smoothly and kind of like sheer, so you don't have to worry about it going on super dark at first. It's really a nice, precise little brush to use. I used this as well when I did that cut crease video with the Norvina palette to define out the cut crease. And then next I have more e.l.f. brushes. These again don't have names on them, but they're like regular eyeshadow brushes. This is a bigger one, this is like a medium one, and then this is a really, really small one. This small one I love to use for inner corner highlight and brow bone highlight. Again, I'll link it down below even though it doesn't have a name. Don't worry, I will find it and get that to you. And then these are so nice for nose contour. This one specifically because it's so short and like pencil-like. And this is also one of those brushes that is a little bit more, I don't know, like it's not super soft. It has a little bit of grit to it, which I know when everybody talks about brushes, they're like, oh, these are so nice because they're so soft. But like sometimes I need a brush that is a little rough to like get in there and blend everything out. So this is a little bit more rough, and that's why I like it. And then same with this brush. This is a bigger fluffy brush from e.l.f. I like to use this on my eyes just as a regular crease brush, or I'll use this for a nose contour as well. This one isn't as defined as that other one. It's a little bit bigger, but if I want something a little more natural for my nose contour and just like add a little bit of color to it, this is what I will go for. The last brush I have is this one from Morphe. I have no idea what the name is, and I have to be honest with you guys, of the Morphe brushes I have tried, I have not been very impressed. They shed on me all over, so I'm just not a big fan of them. I like the Bdellium brushes way more and the Sigma brushes way more, but to each his own. Some people really like the Morphe brushes, and that is okay. I just don't. Okay, so that is it for the clean brushes. Now I will just take my camera off. I was going to say I was going to take my camera off its stand, but it got cranky and shut off on me. I don't know what its deal is. So I will just finish it here. We are all clean. Here are my brushes laying out. I kind of also have them tilted downward, so the towel is like higher here and then it tilts down just so that they drain down and the water isn't going to get clogged up there in the barrels. So I will just let them sit here and dry. That is, again, one of the cons of doing the cleaning manually instead of that like spinny air dryer thing. But like I said, with that, I just don't feel like my brushes get as clean as they would when I do this. So yeah, that is the Sigma little cleaner, and those are all my favorite brushes, and yeah, that just pops right off, and you can see very minimal dirt. There's like a little bit right here, so you can just rinse that down and you're good to go. So that is how I clean my brushes. So I hope that you guys learned something from this. Maybe you learned about some new brushes that you want to try out, or you learned about the Sigma scrub thing and you want to check that out to clean your brushes. I hope that this video was helpful, so let me know in the comments or by giving the video a thumbs up that you did like it and that you found it helpful, and I will continue to make more little impromptu videos like this. I feel like I've been having a little more fun on my channel lately. Like, I've been going out to TJ Maxx, doing trips like that, just like doing things that aren't necessarily just in my makeup room with the regular backdrop. So I hope that you guys like just the new change of pace, the new scenery. I know it's not like as set up and formal, but I thought you guys might like it. So let me know, make sure you let me know if you did like it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.